Hey, welcome to the full overview and demo of MXR's Duke of Tone. Now, this is a pretty special pedal. It's the result of a collaboration between a guy named Analog Man or Analog Mike and MXR. Analog Man has made probably one of the most sought after boutique gain pedals ever, the King of Tone, and the smaller Prince of Tone. Unfortunately, if you want either of those pedals, you're going to have to get on years-long waiting lists. So, Analog Man teamed up with MXR's custom shop to make this, the Duke of Tone. This pedal really captures the essence of both the King of Tone and the Prince of Tone. Now, this is actually a 3-in-1 gain pedal. It's a combination overdrive, boost, and distortion. And you can access those modes with the dip switch right here. Overdrive typically uses what's called soft clipping, which, as you might expect, is a softer edged overdrive. It compresses a little bit more naturally, and it's supposed to sound like an overdriven tube amp. A boost pedal typically just gives you more signal, which can drive the front end of your amp into more saturation, more overdrive, or just give you a volume boost for like a solo. And then distortion typically refers to circuits that have what's called hard clipping, which is a more extreme kind of clipping, a harder edge distortion. It's more compressed and you might say more modern. So this pedal has all three of those modes. As for the other controls, you have, of course, volume. This is usually used to achieve what's called unity gain. That is to say, when the pedal's on and off, the volume is the same, so you don't dip in volume or boost in volume when you don't want to. You can also use this in conjunction with the boost setting to hit the front end of your amp even more, or just give yourself a higher volume lead boost. The drive knob controls how much gain is dialed in. Distortion and overdrive pedals typically have a tone knob, and it usually controls how much high end is dialed in. So this is no different. If you bring it to the right, you get more highs. Bring it to the left, it becomes darker. It's got a nice latching switch here. I always like that. They decided to put this in a mini pedal format, which is awesome for saving space on your pedal board. It's a lot like this size right here, as opposed to a full-size pedal, which is more like this, right? So that's great for saving space. It does mean, however, that it will not take a battery and you have to power it with a 9-volt power supply. All right, let's get some sounds out of this thing, which is probably why you're here. I'll be using my Telecaster through a clean amp, mic'd up. I'll switch back and forth between the neck pickup and the bridge pickup to give you a sense of the tonal varieties you can get with this pedal. All right, first, here's my baseline clean tone. All right, let's start off with the overdrive setting. And for each of these settings, I'm going to start off with how I would dial it in, and then I'll just twiddle the knobs to give you a sense of the different range of tones you can get. All right, neck pickup first. Switch to my bridge pickup. All right, let's turn some of these knobs. Back to the neck pickup. This is how much gain is on tap on the overdrive setting. Back to my bridge pickup. As you can see, it can get pretty dark, and as you'll notice, as it gets darker and you dial out the highs, you're going to have to bring more volume in. Highs and mids tend to increase perceived volume, so you got to adjust that volume knob accordingly. All right, let's switch to the boost setting. Back to my neck pickup. Let's twiddle some knobs. As you'll see there, as you dial in the gain or the drive, you often have to adjust the volume as well because it tends to make it louder. Back to my bridge pickup. Now the second I switch here, it's going to be louder because there's more mids in the bridge, so I'm going to lower the volume a bit. All right, and then let's take a look at the distortion setting. Starting off on my bridge pickup. Back to my neck pickup. All right, let's turn some knobs on this mode and see what kind of tones we can get. Back to my neck. All right, and then finally, let's see how it sounds to use the boost setting into an already overdriven amp. So I'm going to switch my amp to the lead or crunch channel and then throw the boost on to see what it sounds like to push that amp even further into overdrive. Here's the baseline crunch sound on my amp using my Telecaster and the bridge pickup. Now I'm going to engage the boost. All right, that was a full overview of MXR's Duke of Tone. If you're interested in trying this or picking it up, come by the Yellow Guitar in Decatur, Alabama, and we will hook you up.